the battery won't start. Hey, come on, get smart. Joe Rossman is the name, and Auto Talk's the game. Well, you got the shakes, might be the brakes, the tires go round, but the engine's pounding. Auto Talk's got what it takes to make your car run safe and sound. Rossman's neat, thinks on his feet, so you'll get your car back on the street. Muffler dragging, exhaust pipe sagging with a noise so loud the neighbors nagging you to call Joe Rossman now. You're listening there, he's on the air. It's not fair to stomp and swear. Call Rossman now for great car care. If you're low on dough and your car don't go, just call this show and talk with Joe. I'm sure he'll know how to end your woe. Your tires spin, the engine misses, transmission slips, and the radiator hisses. You know it can't be fixed with kisses. Well, talk to Rossman, he never misses. Joe, he's our man. If he can't fix it, no one can.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to another edition of Auto Talk and Travel.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's not Christmas, Joe.
Oh.
This is David Lady, the Motor Medic, and that ho, ho, ho in the background is Joe Rossman, the motor doctor himself.
Not Santa Claus.
Yeah, not Santa Claus, even though he does have gray in his beard like I do. Hi, Joe. How are you tonight?
David, I am fine. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you this evening? It's another issue of Auto Talk and Travel right here on WINT, AM 1330, FM 101.5. You can call us, 440-946-9468. And you can also tune in where you can listen to our live streaming broadcast at WINTradio.com. And then click on where it says Listen Live, and you can listen to the program.
So call us up and join the merriment. We have fun here every week, and we hope you folks do too. We thank you for inviting us into your homes tonight. Joe, what you up to? What's on the agenda here today?
We have a great guest on the show tonight, Scott Moody.
Scott Moody.
From Total Value RV in Indiana.
Oh, that's the place you spent that week where they could teach you how to operate your RV.
Wrong.
Okay.
That's the place where I bought my RV. But I'm telling you, if you want to buy an RV, a travel trailer, a motorhome, this place is the place to go. Scott, are you there?
I am.
How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Just awesome. So
that's good.
Total Value.
Hello, Scott.
That's David, my cohort. My cohort?
Hello, David.
How are you tonight?
Is it cohort? I don't know what they call it. Yeah.
Joe, you've called me so many things I can't repeat. I don't want to go there.
So, Scott, we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about RVs and recreational vehicles because this is, one of these days, nice weather. And you're going to be able to go out with your family and get out and get around.
Well, if you have the RV, you go find the nice weather.
Well, that's right. You can do that.
You get in it and you go.
But I think, Scott, most people, I don't know if most people travel that far away. Any idea, you ever had any idea about how far the average person travels, with their family?
Probably as an overall rule, probably within about an hour of where they live, hour and a half or so is about how far they go. But you do have some people that do go out in full-time in their RVs as well, too, where that's their home.
Yeah, that's what, we don't full-time, we're like half-time. But, I thought most people with why is everybody laughing at me?
Halftime?
Halftime. But
that's like when you were a mechanic. You weren't fast, you were half fast.
Yeah, I was half fast. But I think a lot of people actually take their RVs and sometimes go to a campground or something, like you said, within an hour or 2 hours of their home and kind of set up and have fun for the period of time that they're there. What do you think? Now, you guys, do you sell pop-up campers? I forgot to ask that.
We do. We sell anything from the pop-up campers all the way to the 45-foot diesel motorhomes.
So let's start and talk a little bit about them. I think one thing that people have no idea about is today the cars that we have, how big of a trailer can you tow with the average car? Now, I'm not talking about a Chevy Suburban or a pickup truck or something like that, but the average cars today, do they make trailers that the average guy can tow?
They do. You got trailers nowadays that weigh under 2,000 pounds, so you can tow them with just about anything nowadays.
And how big are they?
That one would be about a 12-footer. That one there will have your bed and your kitchen, and it's basically just a way to get out and get off the beaten path.
So that would be something that would be better suited for maybe 2, possibly 4 people at most if you got along real well.
12 foot and 12 foot and 4 people is going to be really crowded.
Well, you know, I had experience when we
Cozy.
were... Yeah.
Cozy.
Okay, yeah. Does the reformatory come to mind?
So the what kind of vehicle do you need to tow like a medium size, like a 18-foot trailer? Let's pick that. That's 18, kind of a size that would sleep 4 people without a lot of problem.
Yeah, probably just your normal SUV, you know, your standard SUV would out there. A lot of those can pull about 5,000 pounds, and anything that's 18 foot is going to be under 5,000 pounds for you.
So if you had something like an Explorer or an Equinox or one of the, what do you call it?
My minivan.
Minivan would pull that.
Yeah.
Toyota or, Hyundai or something. So now, what do those have in them? People always say, well, I'm going to go out in the wilderness. I don't have a bathroom. They got bathrooms. They got everything in them, don't they?
Oh, in an 18-foot, you're going to have a bathroom. You're going to have a kitchen. You're going to have a full queen bed in it. So you're going to have everything that you need. People
wonder, what do I need? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to go camping. I think that there's things called camping and there's things called glamping. But
called what?
Glamping.
Glamping.
Glamorized camping.
Good. Glamorized camping. Well, I'll tell you what.
I grew up in the city. Okay. Camping to me was going to Grandma's house in the woods, all right?
Yeah, in the woods, right.
In the woods, yeah. She lived yeah.
We had a major problem I had a major problem with my motorhome the other day.
The other day?
Oh, we were in it. We didn't know what to do. The color TV went out. We had to watch black and white TV. We got 2 more TVs.
That had to be horrible.
Scott, it was terrible. I mean, the color TV didn't work. I didn't know what to do. My wife said, screaming up and down.
Joe, when I grow up, I want to be spoiled like you.
The satellite didn't work.
The satellite didn't work.
The satellite receiver.
Joe, it's parked in your driveway. You could have walked in the house.
Oh, I never thought about that. We were camping. My wife says, let's go camping. We went out in the front yard, slept in the camper overnight.
That poor woman. That poor woman.
But the 18-foot trailer, I mean, the average trailer that people are going to buy, is there like an average? Or I think just people walk in, you don't know what they're going to buy when they walk into Total Value RV.
No, we get anywhere we get people coming in who are looking for that little 18-footer or the little 12-footer, and then we also got some people that are looking for that big 45-footer with the color TVs and the satellite.
Ooh.
We can throw in the black and white TV at an extra cost, though.
At an extra cost.
What do you do then? The color TV went bad. We had this little battery-powered TV. Well, actually, we got 3 more TVs, so we just went outside and watched it. Just
in the driveway.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Matter of fact, I went out the other day. I had to watch a DVD, and I didn't have a DVD player at home, so I went outside to the RV. But they people go. They go to a campground and they set up. They're pretty much self-contained, aren't you? You got a furnace, you got everything in that. And in an 18, 20-footer. I'm not talking about anything big. And how expensive are they? They're not crazy expensive.
No, you can get a little 18-footer for right around $14,000. It'll have the air conditioning, the furnace, a refrigerator, a stove, a cooktop, outside grill.
My engineer's getting all excited. He might find a new place to live. He
park it in your driveway.
Thomas, park it in the driveway at the radio station. There you go. Got air conditioning, better than home.
Yeah. And not only a color TV, a black and white TV, just in case. But I have a question.
Correct.
You're talking a hard side versus a soft side, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're talking...
What's hybrids available where you can have the best of both worlds, where you'd have a hard side and then your sleeping ends would be like a tent camper.
Okay, so that would be more of what would be known as a pop-up?
Would be what they call a hybrid, actually.
Okay, and so tell me the difference between a standard run-of-the-mill everyday pop-up and one of the hybrids.
Yeah, let's talk about a hard camper, a pop-up, and a hybrid. What's the difference?
What's the major differences there?
Well, a pop-up, what you'd have to do is when you get there is you'd have to come and then you pop the trailer up and you have tents in on both sides of the trailer, as well as your bunk ends are going to be the tents.
It has a hard top on it, though?
It has a hard top, fiberglass roof on the top.
Okay.
Now, when you go to a hybrid, you'll have like your regular trailer, but then on the bed ends, you'll have the ends that will pop out and make your sleeping area, which will be just like what would be on a tent camper. It would be a tent material.
Okay, but then the center section of it would be more of a hard-sided type.
Would be a hard side, correct.
Okay.
So if you had kids, that'd be a great idea because they could put the kids over on the ends for sleeping, or the kids could sleep on
Or
one
for
end.
travel, you could roll them up in there and close it up. And
I don't think you can travel. You can't travel in a trailer. You can't ride in a trailer while you're towing it. Against the law.
You can in some states, as long as you have a two-way radio.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's interesting.
Michigan, one of the states just north of us, you can, as long as you have a two-way radio.
In a trailer with a ball hitch, you can ride in that trailer with a two-way radio. Right. Not me.
I don't know that I would want to do that, but you can.
No, not me on that one, boy. Now, the pop-up camper, we're talking, it's like tent material, but it's like a low box. And when you get to where you're going, you turn a crank or push a button, and the top goes up, and then you got the side, all four sidewalls are canvas material.
Correct.
And they're inexpensive.
They're inexpensive. Those you can get for, as little as $6,000. And it's a great way. You'll see a lot of the people that are in the RV, and that's how the majority of the people start. They'll start out with the tent campers as a young family, and they'll go out and then they'll progress their way up through the whole lineup of RVs.
Now, that pop-up camper doesn't have a kitchen, and it's got water supply, but usually, some of them have an air conditioner up on the roof, but they don't have a bathroom per se, do they? Like a bucket thing?
No, they'll have what they call like a porta potty, which you can go to the restroom, and some of them even now have showers in them.
Really?
Yeah, some of the pop-ups now are basically they're a lot like a regular camper. It's just it's a pop-up.
Come a long way,
That sounds like a retirement situation here. Marlene, start packing your stuff.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you kicking her out, or what are you doing?
Well, no, I'm going to take her with me, but we've been talking about downsizing. I don't think you get much smaller than that. What do you think? How big of a big screen can you get in one of those?
What was that? I'm sorry.
How big of a big screen can you get in one of those guys? I want to be like Joe. I want the big screen color TV.
Well, it just depends on how much you want to do in the pop-up. You could put a 75-inch there. You just wouldn't be able to do much else but watch TV.
There you go.
So then the hybrid, most of the hard-sided campers all have refrigerator, stoves, toilets, that kind of stuff in them.
Right. Well, even your little pop-ups will have the refrigerators in them as well, too. They'll just be much smaller.
Yeah, but you can put a can of pop in it and 2 ice cubes.
Right.
12-pack of beer and a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Right.
So
you don't need to keep the eggs cold, so.
Okay.
And then you go up into a bigger camper.
Right.
So now you're up into the 20s to 20 to 30 feet. Now you need something serious to pull that with.
Right. Well, we're not really serious anymore. With the new half-ton trucks, those can pull upwards of 11,000 pounds. So you can pull just about anything anymore with a half-ton truck.
Well, I meant serious. I meant you got to have a truck. I mean, you're not going to pull it with a car.
You're not pulling it with your
Right.
Volkswagen.
No, you're not going to pull it with your Volkswagen.
Or your
Right.
Mini.
No.
Right.
No. Now, as you progress up through from the pop-up to the hybrid to the hard side, are these guys geared for electrical and propane hookups, or are they self-sufficient in that way, or do you need to carry a generator? How do I fire the stove up? Because my wife's always at home on the range. How do you fire the stove
2
up?
sticks.
The stove is actually done by a 12-volt ignition, so as long as you have a battery, you can light your stove and your cooktop.
Okay, and that's going to burn what, propane, or
It'll burn the propane.
am I going to be out in the woods collecting pine cones?
You can do that too, but you'll have either 2 20-pound bottles or 2 30-pound bottles, which will be right on the front of your camper.
Okay, and then for electric, again,
You can plug in, or you can run your or if you have a generator, you can plug it into that. But a lot of the campers now are also coming with the solar power. Like we carry a little E-Pro, which has a 100-watt solar panel on the top of it, which we've had customers who have gone out and run their TV, run their lights, the oven, everything except for the air conditioner for like 52 days on just the solar power.
Nice.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty deep.
And
Excuse me.
A lot of people now the pull campers. Most of them don't come with generators, so a lot of people buy those little Honda or Yamaha portable generators, and that's where they get their electricity from, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Now, so what price range are those? Let's say a 20 to 30 foot in. Now they start getting up into some serious dollars.
Yeah, you're going to be anywhere from probably around 18,000 all the way up to anywhere from 35,000, just depending on what you wanted. You know, it's anywhere from your basic model all the way up to your Cadillac. Okay,
so I walk into Total Value RV in Indiana, and by the way, wait, let's give them the phone number. Give them the phone number, Scott.
It's 866-282-4460.
And you've got a website.
Yes, it's totalvaluerv.com.
And you're like right off of the freeway in Elkhart, Indiana. And the way I found you, I was recommended to you guys. I was really surprised because when I went there and bought my motorhome, there were two other people there that day. One was from California, and he said, I flew in to Total Value. Now, you picked him up at the airport, and he said to me, he bought a motorhome. He said, I saved $30,000 over what that motorhome would have cost me in California. And the other guy was from Alaska, and he said he saved about the same, and he was on his way back to Alaska with that motorhome.
Yes. Well, the thing you got to think of is in Elkhart, Indiana, which is the RV capital of the world, basically 60% of all RVs that are built in the world are built in the Elkhart County area. So you got to think anytime that somebody gets an RV, it's $1.80 a mile from Elkhart to wherever the destination is just to get it there.
$1.80 a mile.
$1.80 a mile. So you figure if you're going 2,500 miles, you're upwards of $5,000 just to get it from Elkhart to wherever it is.
And that $1.80 that you're talking about, you're just talking about wear and tear on the.
No, that's transportation. That's
transportation to get it from Elkhart to wherever it has to be.
You're a dealer in Florida,
right?
And you sell motorhomes and trailers.
Okay.
So you call up Elkhart and you order 2 or 3 trailers.
Right.
They got to deliver them. Somebody's got to get them to Florida.
Right.
So they charge you $1.80 a mile to get them there. So the delivery charge. You know what delivery charge is.
But I'm trying to think of where the profitability is in this with gas at almost $3 a gallon.
Well, because the guy's taking 2 or 3 of them down there, and they got to get them there. So they may not make a profit, but they got to get them to the dealers.
Them to the facility so they can be sold without a doubt.
How long's Total Value been around?
We've been around. This is our 16th year.
And it's all family run.
It's family run. We grew from a total of. We started out the dealership with 3 motorhomes on the lot. So where we've grown, we've probably got $30 million worth of inventory on our lot right now.
You've been there how many years again?
16 years.
15 years.
16.
16, okay.
Yep.
So okay, I was just wondering if those original 3 motorhomes had black and white TVs or not.
They probably sold them.
They were pulled by an actual horses. The horsepower was how many horses were in front of it.
No, those are kind of Stoga wagon stuff.
Right.
Joe, we got to tell the folks who we are and who they're listening to.
Well, you're listening to Auto Talk and Travel on WNIT Radio every Tuesday night from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I'm Joe Rossman, the Motor Doctor.
And I'm David Lady, the Motor Medic. I'm proud to be Joe's co-host, and we're talking here tonight with Scott from Total Value RV.
Scott Moody.
Scott Moody, RV capital of the world there in Elkhart, Indiana, and he's from Total Value RV, place that Joe's
also known as the RV Whisperer.
I'm sorry?
Also known as the RV Whisperer.
The RV Whisperer.
Yeah, he gets up and says, it's going to cost you this much.
Aha.
So
did the Godfather. He made him a deal he couldn't refuse, right?
So, Scott, when people come into Total Value, it's funny. We talk about, as I say, I drove all the way to Elkhart to buy my motorhome, and I was really impressed with the service. I can only tell you that I really, really was impressed because you guys don't charge a prep charge like a lot of dealers do. A lot of dealers they tack on $1,500, $2,000 to prep the unit. You don't charge that.
We do not, no. It's the price that we agree to, and that's the price that it is.
And you don't charge a paperwork charge.
No, we don't have any hidden fees. What I like to call the owner needs a vacation fee on whatever it may be. We don't have any of those.
And you put full tank of fuel in my motorhome, too.
Full tank of fuel, full LP, and we also have campsites available out front, which is really, I highly recommend to the folks, so that way after you get done with your walkthrough, you go through everything, the excitement of buying it, you might miss some stuff, you plug in out front, you stay the night for a couple of days, play with everything, maybe go on a short road trip up to Lake Michigan, see Notre Dame, Shipshewana, and that way we can work out all the bugs for you right then and there.
That's a wonderful idea, because I work at a dealership, and how many people with that excitement to get that new car home and, you know, show the family, show the neighbors, so on and so forth, are back within 3 days. Hey, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. How do I do this? How do I do that? That's a wonderful idea. I would almost make that mandatory that you at least spend one night at the facility just to get familiar with.
Yeah, we like to have them do that if they can.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea.
Very much surprising that my motorhome had 0 things wrong with it. When I picked it up and test drove it and spent the night there working on it, and spent the night switching everything over, and I have had literally 0 problems. I'm going back to the factory next week for homecoming, and I've got a long list. They said
that's your first homecoming, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Give us a list of what's wrong with it, and I had to start thinking, and I couldn't. I came up with 10 things that were wrong with it, and I had to stretch it really hard because there's a squeak in one place and a little noise somewhere and a little rubber bumper that came off, and
the toilet seat wasn't cushy enough. The big screen wasn't big enough.
The big screen was nice.
The big screen was nice.
Yeah.
I've seen your rig, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
The problem is the gas tank's too big.
Well, you got a fireplace in there.
Oh yeah, wood burning fireplace.
Wood burning fireplace.
Oh yeah.
Well, incorporate that for steam power, and down the road you go.
How many new people come in? Maybe have never owned an RV, know nothing about it. Hey Scott, I want to buy an RV, and what do you tell them? You don't know anything about it. You better get a real quick education, because there's a lot of things you need to learn, right?
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of things, and I always kind of ask the people what you're looking to do, how many people you plan on taking with you, in that nature. That would give you a good idea as to where you want to go in the direction, as to what if you're pulling it or if you're driving it, the size of your vehicle, and just kind of take them and show them the things that would work for them as opposed to showing them things that would not.
I think the worst job in the whole camper, the worst job is the poop tank. You got to empty the poop tank every once in a while. And now it's clean because all you do is hook it up and you pull a lever, so you really don't. You're not touching anything. You're not smelling anything.
Is that like Uncle Eddie on Christmas Vacation?
Oh, that with the blue stuff with the dog.
He's pumping it right out in the sun.
Oh no, Hillary did that.
Hillary did that.
You're not a Hillary person, are you, Scott?
I am not. No.
Okay. Well, Hillary's. I tell you 2 stories about that. Hillary's travel bus, they did that, but one of the rock and roll groups in the big Prevost. Now the big Prevost has an automatic dump tank. You push the button up on the dashboard that opens the dump thing. Well, they were coming into Chicago. This is a true story. And going over the bridge downtown, the bridges downtown over the river are metal grates.
Yeah.
And as they were coming over the bridge, they dumped the thing. And there was a tour boat going down the river underneath them. Need I say any more?
No.
But I people think, emptying the sanitary system, that's not that difficult.
No, it's not. You just put a hose on it, basically, and you just want to open your black tank first and then your gray tank.
You just pull the levers, and you got a hose that goes into the ground, and it just people, and then you got a hose, you hook it up, and it flushes it out. It's not a big deal.
No, you just want to make sure the hose is properly attached.
Yeah, because if you pull the lever and it's not, no, yeah, right. That's the worst part. I think that's the worst part of the whole experience. But people come in. What are they looking for? What kind of questions do first timers ask?
They basically just say if it's a motorhome, they'll ask the difference between a gas and a diesel, the difference in the ride and what it is that they're getting. They'll mostly ask for sleeping space. A lot of things are like what we had talked about earlier. How does the furnace work? How do the lights work? How do I dump the tanks into as well? That's mostly the questions that they're asking for, and then you got to find what it is that they're looking for. If it's just a couple that's looking to get out and get away, you don't need a lot of the sleeping space itself. You just need some of the creature comforts. Or if you have a large family, then they're going to be looking for something that can sleep as many as they possibly can. You've got campers that can sleep anywhere for upwards of 12 people. Or as some people you'll meet at the rallies, they've got the thing that it's cocktails for 6, feeds 4, and sleeps 2.
Yeah, I've always heard that. Yeah. Cocktails for 6, dinner for 4, sleeps for 2.
Sleeps for 2, huh?
Of course, It's got 3 beds in it. Scott, hold on a minute. We're going to put you on hold because we got to take a break and pay some of the bills. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Scott Moody from Total Value RV in Elkhart, Indiana. You can call them.
He's the RV Whisperer.
He's the RV Whisperer. Yeah, I love that deal.
That's a good one.
I haven't heard that one before.
I haven't either.
They put him on, as I say, the RV Whisperer. I like that. That's pretty good. And you can call Total Value RV at 866-282-4460. That's 866-282-4460. It's Total Value RV in Elkhart. They got a great website. They got all the stuff on the website. They're a big Thor dealer, which happens to be a major player in this industry. We're going to take a break. I want to tell you about Pat O'Brien Chevrolet. Pat O'Brien Chevrolet is where I go to buy my cars. I took my car in for service the other day. Man, was I happy. I couldn't have been happier. They had a special deal. They had a gas saver bundle. Now, I had my oil changed, my tires rotated, a 27-point vehicle inspection. I had a front-end alignment check. I had my car washed, and I had a new oil filter for $49.95, and that includes Dexos oil, which is full synthetic oil. Now, you're going to get that oil change. You're going to go somewhere else. You're going to pay $60, $70 for that deal. And right now, if you check them out, there's a $30 discount. If you buy an oil change, there's a $30 mail-in rebate that you can get on that oil change, I believe. So you can check that out. You need a cabin filter. Do you know what a cabin filter is? Well, if you're not getting a lot of fresh air into your cabin area where you sit, there's a filter that filters all that air from the outside that comes in. Well, people never changed this filter. It's like the air filter for your car, and they plug up. Well, for $55, they'll put a new one in for you, and that includes the parts and the labor. And a couple of things that happen. Number one, if you've got a dirty cabin filter, you turn on the air conditioning, and the air that comes in doesn't blow very hard, so it doesn't get cold in the car.
And let's not forget, it's starting to be pollen season, too.
It takes out some of the pollen,
It takes out some of those pollens because some of those cabin filters are actually HEPA filters.
So you need to look at that, and you need to check out my friends at Pat O'Brien Chevrolet. They have the upfront price guarantee, where the price of the vehicle is right on the windshield of what you're going to pay. It's the lowest price that you're going to pay anywhere. And you go in, you tell them, hey, I'm interested in a car. They'll tell you what your trade-in is worth. If you have a trade-in, they'll tell you what it's worth up front. Unlike some dealerships, I went to a friend of mine went to look at another brand of car. I don't know why, but he wanted another brand of car. Well, he was in that dealership for almost 4 hours. First of all, they said, I want to trade my car in. Well, tell us what kind of car you're looking at, and then we'll tell you what your car is worth. Boy, is that a bunch of baloney. Check out Pat O'Brien Chevrolet at PatO'BrienChevy.com on the Internet. You can call them at 855-365-CHEVY or go to any one of the 4 stores in Willoughby Hills at 2810 Bishop Road, in Westlake at 25100 Detroit Road, right off of Interstate 90, in Medina, 3880 Pearl Road, that's 2 miles north of downtown Medina, or in Vermilion on State Route 60 and State Route Interstate 2. Or right on the way to Sandusky, you're going up that way, and it's in Vermilion, but you'll see it. It's on the southwest corner of Route 60 and Route 2. Tell them Joe Rossman, the Motor Doctor, sent you, or David Leidy, the Motor Medic. My place to go, Pat O'Brien Chevrolet. It's 7:29. We will be right back, and we're coming back shortly with Scott Moody from Total Value RV.
Did you know that the archerfish can spit with deadly accuracy? That snowflake eels have a second set of jaws in their throats? That a giant Pacific octopus is smart enough to solve puzzles? Or that shark teeth are naturally coated with a cavity-preventing fluoride? See these and other amazing animals up close at the Greater Cleveland Aquarium. Plan your visit at greaterclevelandaquarium.com. Nature. It's a curious thing.
Alexa, I hear that WINT is now on FM.
That's right. Tune in to 101.5 FM to listen to WINT all day, all night on 101.5 FM. Did I say 101.5 FM? 101.5 FM.
You've heard me talk about PB Blaster and the complete line of Blaster chemical products for over 15 years now. Well, for over 50 years, Blaster Corporation has manufactured penetrants, lubricants, rust inhibitors, and a full line of specialty, highly concentrated formulas for the automotive, industrial, and hardware industries. Now, you still might be skeptical if PB Blaster really can get that stuck, rusty, won't budge, nut and bolt apart, but let me be the first to tell you that it really does work the way the company says it does. Now, I've been a loyal user of all their products, including PB Blaster, since someone showed me the famous cup test demonstration many years ago. You can view that live demonstration on the website at blasterproducts.com, where you'll also find the complete lineup of all the great Blaster products. See for yourself how PB Blaster can change the way that you loosen stuck fasteners. It's also great for lubricating squeaky doors, making things slide easier, and all places that need general lubrication or penetrating lubrication. You'll find Blaster products at O'Reilly Auto Parts, Home Depot, Napa, and most auto and home stores, along with a hardware store near you. Now, when you need help, make sure to call on Blaster Chemical Products to make the job easier. That's Blaster Chemical Products, available at a retailer near you.
Do you have a tow problem? Now don't look down at your foot. I'm talking about the tow problem you might have when pulling a vehicle behind your recreational vehicle. At Demco Products, we strive to bring new ideas, products, and designs to the RV marketplace, like the Demco Victory Series tow bar, which will revolutionize the RV lifestyle and experience. Maybe you want something a little better? Check the Commander, the Excalibur 2, and the Dominator tow bars. They are all self-supporting, self-aligning, and self-leveling. Each arm moves independently of each other, which is a first in the RV industry. Hooking up and disconnecting a tow vehicle from your motorhome has never been so easy. All three tow bars incorporate the patent-pending Easy Trigger Release, providing virtually flawless hookup and disconnect. This non-binding tow bar system performs extremely well under the harshest of conditions. Visit us at www.demco-products.com and check out the complete lineup of towing products, including the Commander, the Excalibur 2, the Dominator, and the Victory Series tow bars by Demco. Demco, the name to know when you tow.
Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for staying with us. This is Auto Talk and Travel, and we're here with the same mirth and merriment every Tuesday night from 7 until 8. I'm David Lady, the Motor Medic. I'm joined here tonight with Joe Rossman, the Motor Doctor.
Almost forgot my name, didn't you?
Well, I was, never mind. And we also have with us
Scott Moody from Total Value RV in Elkhart, Indiana. Scott, we're talking about travel trailers and new people. So new people come in, and I think, how do they know how to tow that? Are there schools for people to go to learn how to tow one of these things, or how to work on them, or how to deal with them?
There's not really a school. It's just basically they just go out and do it. More than likely, their friends or relatives have had one, and maybe they pulled one before they've come in, so they've got an idea as to how to do it. But on all the towables, at least for the travel trailers, we recommend the weight distribution system and the sway control, which is going to make it a lot easier for them. Lets the trailer a lot easier to control. And then if there's winds or if the trucks go by, it's not going to move. So you're not going to have that finger, scary moment as you're going down the road.
Well, does that not, a lot of that depend upon what type of tow bar you have set up on the back side of it?
As far as how it tows?
Well, yeah, I'm towing a pop-up because, I'm not comfortable.
That's where that sway control deal comes in.
Okay.
Because
right.
People just take a trailer and slap it on the back of their car and head off down the road, and the first thing that's going on is the back bumper's dragging on the ground because the trailer's too heavy for the car.
Right.
Or you get the truck passing you, like he said,
Yeah.
and the thing's wobble-wobbling behind you.
What is an equalizing hitch? Let's explain that a little bit.
The equalizing hitch, what that'll do is that'll take the weight that is on the axle of the trailer of the truck or the tow vehicle and transfers it to the trailer. In the old days, they used to show the equalizer system where they would actually take off the rear tires and still be able to tow the trailer down the road. So it's going to take that weight, and so you're not pulling as much. So say if it's 6,500 pounds, you figure you're going to be pulling 10% less behind you. So it's going to make it a lot easier to pull.
So less rolling resistance is going to make it easier to pull and easier to handle.
Right. With that, the weight distribution and the sway control will keep it from going from side to side. It's like a little tension bar. So if the trailer starts to move, it tightens up and then prevents that trailer from swaying.
And what are these, spring-loaded? Are they hydraulic, like a shock absorber?
No, they're not really like a shock absorber. I don't know.
Well, the ones I've seen have I call it a cam. It's got a high point, and when the trailer turns, it kind of goes up and kind of, as it comes back into the cam, it kind of holds it straight. And then some of them had a set of brake pads, actually. It had a bar hooked up to the trailer hitch, and there was a bar with a brake pad on it that would, if it started swaying, that brake pad would slow it down, like putting brakes on, but it's on the trailer hitch itself. It's kind of interesting.
That's the sway control itself. And then you have your brake controller, which is going to be a slight delay from when you hit the brakes, and then it'll apply the brakes onto the trailer.
Through a electronic or a fluid proportioning type valve?
Well, through your plug. You got a 7-way plug in the back, and then that'll electronically send the message to the trailer brakes.
Okay.
Because you have to have trailer brakes on a vehicle over usually 2,000, 2,500 pounds. You have to have, under state law, you have to have trailer brakes.
But now we talked earlier about somebody riding in the trailer. Couldn't they put the brakes on?
Oh.
Unless it was Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Out the door.
He could open a trap door and he could put his feet down.
While you're draining the porta potty over the bridge, you could put your
So a pull type trailer, that's one kind of deal. Now they got this thing called a fifth wheel, and now we're getting up in a little bigger unit that you need a truck, and it actually hooks up inside the truck bed, and it's kind of like a tractor trailer setup, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now, that tows a lot different, and it handles a lot different. Probably it's more money, too, but that's a whole nother experience because that's got a different floor plan inside, isn't it?
Well, the main difference between the two is what you got to figure is that about a third of the trailer is going to be in the center of your truck. So you're not going to get the movement like you would in a travel trailer with it being completely behind you. The floor plans will basically, you can have the same floor plan in a travel trailer as you do in a fifth wheel. It's just it's a little bit bigger, and the fifth wheels will give you a lot more storage. So a lot of the fifth wheels are sold to people that are going to be doing extended stays. They might be going and staying for a month in a location and then coming back. It's where the travel trailers are going to be sold for the weekend type campers or maybe a week trip.
Well, now the fifth wheel camper has like a bedroom up over the top front, more or less, I would say, and so that gives you your whole living area, and then you're up in the front, like over the bed of the truck where you sleep. So it gives you kind of more living room, doesn't it?
It does, because you've got more ceiling height as well, too, so it makes it feel a lot more spacious for you.
So
That kind of puts me in mind of the camper that went on the back of the pickup truck back in the day.
That's another kind. That's
a whole other issue.
Yeah, that's a truck camper.
That's a truck camper.
They sit in the bed of the truck.
Yes.
Do you still sell a lot of those?
We don't personally. Those seem to do a lot better out west and then up north in the Upper Peninsula.
I was going to say I got some relatives that are from in the Detroit area, and they like to hunt, and he bolts his on his truck and drops the legs down, and away he goes off to. But
they're
playing the woods.
They're pretty crowded in there. That's kind of like a weekend deal, a hunting lodge, or you and your wife and
primitive, let's say.
Primitive. Well, they got same thing. They got air conditioning, they got stove, and they got refrigerator and shower, bathroom. But they're really small because they're the size of the pickup truck.
Yeah, I think the plan with one of those is you want to plan on your weekend more outside of it than inside of it, unlike that palatial palace on wheels that you have.
Right.
Correct.
So, well, you got a driver now. So,
Yeah, you finally taught Jan how to drive that thing, didn't
yeah.
you?
So
Oh,
now
good
you
for
got
her.
now you got the fifth wheel,
The fifth wheel.
and then you go in.
Well, now, if you got a fifth wheel, you're going to need, and Joe mentioned the size of the vehicle before, you're going to pretty much need a dually pickup to haul a fifth wheel around, no?
Well, they have lightweight fifth wheels now as well, too, which can be towed by the little half-ton trucks. But if you get up to the bigger ones, the 36-footers, the 40-footers, you're definitely going to need a dually, something a lot bigger in order to pull it.
And I think a lot of that, too, would depend upon where you're headed to. You know, if you're in the flatlands of Ohio, that's one thing, but you start hitting the hill country of West Virginia, you're going to make sure you got the right rig in front of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be stuck at the bottom of the mountain.
A lot of times people buy a truck, and then they go buy a camper vehicle of something. I mean, a camper trailer or something of some sort. And people need to understand that you should do it just the opposite, because you kind of pick the camper or what you're going to use the truck for, because changing rear axle ratios on a vehicle, on a truck, changing the rear axle ratio changes how much weight that truck can pull. And when you order a truck, you can order the rear axle ratio that you want to correspond to the use of that truck. And people sometimes get the wrong gear ratio in the truck. They'll get a highway gear ratio. They'll stick this big camper on the back, and this truck's like a dog. It won't pull it.
It's not going to make it up the hill.
It won't make it up the hill. And all you got to do is change the rear end gear. I remember when I had my shop, somebody came in and they had a dually Chevy truck. They were pulling a horse trailer, and it wouldn't come up. It wouldn't pull it up the hill. And we talked about taking the engine apart and putting carburetors on and supercharged. We were talking about doing all kinds of stuff to the truck. Well, ended up, we looked at it, found that the rear end ratio was a 370, and it needed a 456. We put a 456 rear end in that thing. It pulled that trailer wherever it wanted to go.
Now, did it make a difference in the gas mileage on that
Not
vehicle?
that much.
No? Okay.
Not that much.
Okay.
But it made a difference in the way it it hauled. So the fifth wheel, and then you go into different classes of driving motorhomes. They got what, an A, B, and a C?
Yes, they do.
What's the difference in that?
Well, your B is going to be basically a van camper. So it's going to be your basic van that's been stretched, and then they'll put in, a lot of the van campers have the bathrooms in them as well, too. You'll have your couch in the back, which will make it into a sleeping area. But that's going to be on the van chassis.
Now, Scott, they just came out a couple years ago with that Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.
The Sprinters, yes.
And
right.
they make big time campers on those in Class B, because they're real tall and you can walk around with them and everything else on
You
them.
ever drive one of those?
No.
Oh, they're a blast to drive. They're very easy to drive. But like you said, they're very tall. You got all the headroom in the world you could want. You can do almost. You're working with an empty box, and a lot of them are diesel powered.
Yep.
So,
What
Right.
do they make a Class B in those?
They do. You can get those on the Mercedes chassis, and then they even make the Class Cs, or what they call the B pluses, which will be on the Mercedes chassis as well, too.
So
Those are going to get you a little bit better fuel mileage then as well, too. You're going to get right around 16 to 18 miles to the gallon on one of those.
really?
it's better than I get my Thunderbird.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
that's a Class B. So then a Class C.
Class C is going to be like it's basically a truck chassis, and that's where you have the bed over the cab. It's going to be the Class C. So it's going to be on an E450 or an E350 chassis, depending on the size itself. But then the C's, you always have the bed over the cab then. As to where the Class A's are going to be on like a bus chassis, where you're sitting right up front, you're sitting up high,
So
see everything that's coming.
Now, when he
in front
says
of
bus chassis,
Yeah.
I think of those big Provost.
well, it's basically a bus chassis.
Yeah.
But the Class A is a box. The Class A is
Correct.
the big square box that you see going down the street. The Class C is the van nose with the bed up over the top of where the driver is. That's the difference between a C and an A.
Right.
Now, does it take any special endorsement on your driver's license to drive the two different ones?
Now, in each state, it varies. In Indiana, for example, as long as you're not doing it for a commercial purpose, as to where you're a driver, a transport driver, then you just have to have your regular driver's license. Now, some customers that I've had in Illinois, I don't know what it's like in Ohio, but they have to get like the CDL license, but the farmer's CDL license, not an actual CDL.
The farmer's CDL license.
Yeah, it's just so you can tow over 26,000 pounds.
Okay.
Well, I know.
Drive something that's over 26,000. I don't believe in Ohio that you have any restrictions. I believe as long as you have a valid driver's license, you can drive it.
Right. A friend of mine lives in Canada, and he had to go get a regular Class B CDL license. He had to take the air brake course. He had to take everything. Hey, Scott, I'm going to ask you to hold on for another minute because we got to take a break. We're talking with Scott Moody from Total Value RV, and they are located in Elkhart, Indiana. If you are looking for any kind of a recreational vehicle, I recommend you call 866-282-4460, and you talk to Scott. Scott's one of the salespeople there. 866-282-4460, Total Value RV. Any kind of RV, talk to them. New, pre-owned, talk to these people. These people run a business. I can't tell you how nice they are to deal with. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Auto Talk and Travel. I'm Joe Rossman, the Motor Doctor, here with David Lighty, the Motor Medic. We're on WINT Radio every Tuesday night from 7 to 8. We will take a quick break and be right back.
Cherry wood-fired steaks, thick, juicy, grilled to perfection. Angus burgers stacked high with sautéed onions and mushrooms. Seafood, a true taste of the sea in every bite. Combine all that in a stunning historic setting, and you have Great Scott Tavern in Euclid. Come discover a restaurant that will pamper you. Traditional cherry wood-fired steaks, grilled Angus burgers, fresh seafood, classic entrees. That's Great Scott Tavern on Lakeshore Boulevard in Euclid. Food fit for royalty, priced for you and me. Visit GreatScottTavern.com.
Let me tell you about the greatest place to purchase your next recreational vehicle. Now, I bought mine from Total Value RV in Elkhart, Indiana, and I'm totally satisfied. Total Value RV has the greatest selection of Class A gas and diesel motorhomes, Class C mini homes, and also a complete line of towables. Now, they sell the complete Thor line of products, and Thor is the largest manufacturer of recreational vehicles in the United States. When you purchase an RV from Total Value RV, spend a couple of nights hooked up in their campground to become acquainted with your new unit to make sure all of your questions are answered and everything's working properly. Conveniently located just 4 hours west of Cleveland in the RV capital of the world, Elkhart, Indiana. You'll save thousands buying from a dealer located where they make them. That's why they'll say it's better when you buy them where they're built. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned recreational vehicle? Make sure you stop into Total Value RV in Elkhart, Indiana. They also take trade-ins at a very competitive rate, and there's no hidden fees or dealer prep. Visit Total Value RV and see for yourself how to save big bucks on your next recreational vehicle purchase. Call 866-282-4460. That's 866-282-4460. Or TotalValueRV.com on the internet.
That smoky smell of sizzling ribs will hang thick in the air over the 7th Annual Downtown Willoughby Red, White, and Barbecue Rib Burn-Off, Saturday and Sunday, May 19th and 20th, starting at noon. It's family-friendly with the Kids Zone, vendors, plus 3 stages of live, local, and national bands. Stroll Erie Street sampling beer, craft cocktails, and, of course, tender ribs from downtown Willoughby restaurants and national cookers, too. Event proceeds benefit the Northeast Ohio USO, so follow your nose to the Downtown Willoughby Red, White, and Barbecue Rib Burn-Off, Saturday and Sunday, May 19th and 20th.
Pat O'Brien Chevrolet doesn't have all the Cruises and Malibus in Ohio, but we have more than any other dealer. Right now, get 25% off MSRP on all 2017 Cruise and Malibu models to save thousands. We got them. Come get them at Pat O'Brien Chevrolet.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. I just stepped all over Joe, so I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Sorry, Joe.
So we're talking with Scott Moody. This is Auto Talk and Travel. I'm Joe Rossman, the Motor Doctor. We're talking with Scott Moody from Total Value RV. Scott, any other thing you got to suggest before we wrap this up?
I don't know. I guess one of our nice little things is when you come into our place, you come in as a stranger and you leave as a friend. And the nice thing I like to tell people, too, as well, is the fact that when you're out there with the family, how often are you sitting around, the kids just looking at their cell phones or their tablets or whatever it may be. You need to get out camping and have what I like to call heads-up moments. get out and see this beautiful country of
Well, I
ours.
like that phrase, heads up moment.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So we're going to let you go because we're down at the end of the program here. We want to thank you. And Scott Moody from Total Value RV in Elkhart, Indiana, give them a call, 866-282-4460. So, David, camping. People get nervous because they don't know where to go or they don't know what happens. Walmart, you're traveling, we stop in Walmart. Now, if we're traveling somewhere, most Walmarts
will invite you in.
You can park in the parking lot. Don't set up your campground set up there, but for the night.
Well, they'll accommodate you overnight, yeah.
They even have a website that tells you which Walmarts that you can stay in and where they are and how to find them. And a lot of Home Depots and Lowe's will let you stay there. Some of the Eaton Parks will let you stay there.
Really? Okay.
And
I didn't know about Eaton Park.
So people have a worry of where they are. Well, there's campground directories. There's something called the Family Motor Coach Association, FMCA, where things you want to look at are insurance. You want to make sure that you have some type of road hazard or road insurance on this deal. So if you break down, somebody's going to come out and change the tire because you're not going to be equipped to change a tire. It's not like jacking your car up.
No, especially on the unit that you're driving.
Oh, and I know.
It's how many feet?
Yeah, I know. It's that many.
That many.
And so you need to make sure that you have some type of road service policy. I also recommend if you buy any kind of trailer, I don't care if you're a landscaper, that you have tire pressure monitors on it. And people just neglect, that's the biggest thing that they neglect to do is have tire pressure monitors on it to monitor a slow leak or anything like that. It remotely reads the tire pressure on a little thing about the size of a pack of cigarettes on the dashboard.
Okay, so it's giving you constant input.
Constant input on tire pressure and tire temperature because, you get a nail in it. People say, well, I checked my tires before I left this morning. But how do you know if you ran over a nail 5 feet after you checked it?
After you pulled out.
So,
but you bring up a good point. I was reading some articles a little while back. Now, most of our cars have the TPMS, the tire pressure monitors on them. And, some of them are just universal, I'll call it, as to where it reads the pressure between the four tires, and then it flips the light on, and you got to go out and figure which tire is the problem.
I think all of them now, all of them are pressure per tire now.
Yes, a lot of them are pressure per tire. But do you know, it's pothole season. We talked about orange barrel season. It's pothole season. And being pothole season, the average incident for wheel and or tire replacement,
$400.
Average cost is $300.
That was a guess.
That was a good guess, Joe.
Well,
yeah, $300. So you figure you're buying the tire, you might have to buy the wheel. Maybe you can get the wheel repaired. Maybe you can get a refurbished wheel. But then you get into your suspension, your alignment.
I mean,
so $300 to me seems very conservative.
You blow a tire today, a tire's a quick $150 to $200 if you can find, if you can find the tire that you need. Because in the old days, we had A, B, C, I had an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, F, G, and a J, and an L. And,
as far as sizes.
And that was it, man.
Yeah.
Then they went into the 205, 215, 225.
Right.
Now, you got to look at the tire size, what the rim size is. You got to look at the
aspect ratio.
Not but the speed rating.
Speed rating. Sidewall stiffness.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's look at it this way. We're going to spend average $300 on one tire, okay?
Plus the wheel, the rims. Some of the rims are just $300-400.
Exactly. What if you're driving an all-wheel drive vehicle? I had a poor unfortunate fellow come in the other day, and he was driving a Challenger, and he put bigger tires on the backside of the Challenger. All-wheel drive Challenger. Yeah. And the poor unfortunate dude blew out the front portion of his all-wheel drive due to the fact that you had two different size tires on the vehicle. Now, as we just mentioned, you blow one tire out, and a new tire is going to be 10 to 12, 30 seconds of an inch of tread depth. Say your tires are getting to that 3 to 4 to 5, 30 seconds of an inch of tread depth. That circumference on those worn tires is smaller than that new tire. So you could be in for not only two tires, you could be in for a set of four. just so you don't raise havoc with your all-wheel drive. My particular wagon that I drive is all-wheel drive. And when I put the tires on, it was kind of like, well, no, stay with the recommended size. And that door sticker, that placard's right inside the door. It gives you the tire pressure. It gives you the recommended size. And there's always options, but you don't want to deviate from what the dealer says due to the fact that you got to think of the tire as being another gear on the car. And you want all those guys rolling at the same time. So Joe brings up a very good point. Tire pressure monitors on your trailers. And again, it gives you a little bit more peace of mind as far as what's going on 35 feet back of where you're at up there in the cockpit tooling down the road. And he's a very strong advocate for those additional sensors being on there.
Well, it's just, if you don't have tire pressure monitors on there and pay attention to them, and then, like you said before, if you buy new tires, yes, you better put new ones in because the batteries are going to be going bad.
Well, those batteries are only good for 5 to 7 years, and it's time, yeah.
But I sell tire pressure monitors to a lot of the people in the campgrounds where I go to because people don't have them. And you have a low tire. You don't know if the inside tire is low, the outside tire is low, and you got a real problem.
Now, to install these, you have to have that tire broken off the wheel.
They screw them on a valve cap.
They screw them on a valve cap.
They're external. They screw them right on a valve cap. They're programmed per wheel, and they work really good. But we got to get out of here, David.
It's that time already.
Oh, my gosh, I can't believe it.
Have you had fun?
I had yes.
I hope somebody out there had fun. I hope we could. I wish we could have answered a couple questions for some folks on the camping hobby. That sounds like a fun hobby.
Well, we'll be back next week. Then try again.
You can give us a call next week. We're always here.
You can call us any Tuesday night at 440-946-9468. I want to thank you for tuning in.